following content contains strong language and may not be suitable for children. This content is primarily for adults as this is a trucking channel and truckers have filthy mouths. Please don't tweak if I say viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? Come on in. Make sure you guys hit the like button. All right. Come on in, hit the like button if you are capable of hitting the like button. How's everybody doing this morning? Shout out to Great Polo. Shout out to all the MGMs. Rich Jew representing Chicago. Goat Logistics. What's going on? Sharks World. D Jenkins. Shout out to all the MGM members. Shout out to all the moderators. Shout out to everybody that's watching on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube early this morning. Good morning and good afternoon if you are on the East Coast. All right, so we're going to get straight into it. All right, this is the question that everybody wants to know. This is the question that I get asked the most based on, the type of content I make. I've been creating content for a little over 2 years now, and if you follow the channel, you know my perspective and how I analyze things as far as the economy and things of that nature. And people have grown to trust my forecasting because over the course of my tenure creating content, my forecasting has always been right. All right. So let's talk about the rest of this year. Let's talk about next year. All right. There's an article that I came across that reiterates everything that I always talk about. But we're going to go through this article. We're going to, pluck out some parts of this article. A lot of this reiterates everything that I've already said. So this is just, further proof that I know what I'm talking about. But I want to do a deep dive analysis, right? I want to do a deep dive analysis on 2025 and why you may be seeing what you're seeing, all right? Because I think a lot of people are looking at this wrong. I think they're looking at this wrong, and I'm going to go into why after we go through this article. So let's break down this article first, all right? So this article came out yesterday, all right, on the Financial Times. Trucking industry shows signs of life after long downturn in the U.S., all right? So we're going to go through this whole article. We're going to break it down, and then we're going to forecast, right? All right, let's start. All right. The U.S. trucking industry is beginning to show signs of life after one of the deepest downturns in its history, with demand picking up even as prices remain suppressed by excess fleet capacity. All right, soaring fixed costs and increased competition for limited freight goods. Now, all these things that were separated by commas are things that I always focus on and talk about. And I've been talking about them, all right, since I started YouTube, all right? So with demand picking up, all right, so volume is starting to pick up, right? That's demand, right? This trucking industry is based on supply and demand, even though some of your favorite viewers and content creators say it's not. This is further proof that it is, right? Okay, so demand is picking up, which is volume. Freight is picking up, all right? So demand's picking up even as prices remain suppressed. Prices, right? We talk about it. I talk about it all the time. Supply and demand. All right. There's still an overabundance of supply that came into the market. Right. The more competition, the lower the rates. Remember why this is. All right. 1980 deregulation. All right. The deregulation of the trucking industry. The reason why trucking was deregulated was to keep prices low. You remember this because we're going to get into this further, right? To keep prices as low as possible, because throughout the supply chain, the higher the prices are throughout the supply chain, who feels the brunt of that at the end? The consumer. So that's the reason why trucking was deregulated, because if it wasn't, over the years, inflation would continue to go up, and it would be hard for people to be able to afford things at the register, right? So this keeps prices down. Competition keeps prices down for the consumer, right? So there's still an overabundance of capacity, which is supply, truck capacity, which is supply owner operators, all right? Soaring fixed cost. Fixed costs are what we talk about all the time as far as your operational costs, your cost per mile, your fixed costs, your truck note, your rental, your insurance, things of that nature. We talk about this all the time. Costs to operate have gone up, prices have calmed down. Prices to operate have gone up, prices have come down, right? They've corrected themselves from where they were to the pandemic. The majority of the people that are complaining came in somewhere between 2020 and 2023, all right? Increased competition, this relates back to the supply, the truck capacity, all right? Requests for shipments in the U.S. rose on an average 9% year over year in the second quarter of 2024. Tender rejections, a measurement of carriers' willingness to accept loads, increased 1.3% from the same period last year, meaning truckload capacity has slowly started to tighten, all right? According to data from logistics intelligence firm FreightWaves, all right? You guys know how I feel about FreightWaves, right? I'll be proving them wrong all the time. I do think the worst is behind us, said Bob Costello, chief economist for American Trucking Associations. Following a consumer product surge during the pandemic that led to one of the largest upswings in the trucking demand, the industry was hit with a freight recession in 2022, as inflationary pressures led to a decline in consumer spending and forced a reduction in cargo volumes and rates. All right, rates went into a free fall in 2022. Michael Castagneto, president of North American Surface Transportation for logistics firm C.H. Robinson, said in an email, "We're seeing an extended trial." All right, the surplus of trucks left over from the pandemic boom was not met with sufficient demand. The surplus of trucks left over from the pandemic boom was not met with sufficient demand, leading to a capacity overhang still being felt by companies today. And companies' results have yet to show much of a recovery. U.S. transporter J.B. Hunt, one of the largest firms in the industry, missed earnings expectations for the fifth consecutive quarter on July 15th with a 24% decline in operating income compared to the same period last year. All right. The company cited underutilization of asset and flat pricing as the main drivers for low revenue. Underutilization of assets. What's that? They're not using all their equipment, all right? We still see oversupply across all modes, with shippers having options on both mode and provided to move their freight, said Spencer Frazier, Executive Vice President of Sales and Marketing for J.B. Hunt, on the earnings call. While capacity is not a top concern right now, there is an awareness that this will change at some point. But as consumer demand continues to rise steadily, the trucking industry looks optimistically towards the rate gain momentum in 2025, particularly if interest rates come down. All right. They're betting on interest rates coming down. All right. The beginning of the year, Jerome Powell, or the end of last year, Jerome Powell, said he was going to do 3 rate cuts for 2024. At the beginning of the year and throughout the year, I said that's not likely. I said if we have any rate cuts, it's going to be 1. All right. We're in the third quarter of the year, right? And we still haven't had 1. So 3 rate cuts right now is out the window. All right. 1 is still on the table, and I call for 1 or none. All right. So we'll see. But 3 rate cuts is out the window. All right. We're not going back down to pre-pandemic levels this year for sure. All right. That's out the window. All right. Particularly if interest rate come down, according to Avery Vice President of Trucking for FTR Transportation Intelligence, we could be back by, say, the middle of next year, late next year, to something that is very comfortable for carriers, said Vice. All right. He's calling for mid to late next year. All right. However, now this is something that FreightWaves said about 2023. And then when that didn't happen, they said 2024. Obviously, that's not going to happen. So we'll get into it. Industry marginal costs, excluding fuel surcharges, rose more than 6% in 2023. According to an analysis published by the American Transportation Research Institute, insurance and maintenance costs have gone up 1/3. This is something we always talk about. This is part of your fixed and variable costs. Remember, I always say prices have corrected themselves, but operational costs have gone up. All right. So prices have corrected themselves to pre-pandemic levels, but operational costs have gone up. All right. So this is where people are feeling it at, right? Um, Insurance and maintenance costs have gone up a third, says FreightWave senior analyst Tony Mulvey, primarily due to high interest rates, installation of new technology, and an uptick in truck-related accidents, increasing expense pressure on small to mid-sized fleet owners. Now, this is something that we talked about recently. I don't know if I talked about it on the channel or maybe in the Discord. We were talking about insurance, and I was saying, like, listen, there's been a lot of accidents. The whole insurance industry has got hit on a whole. It's not just from the commercial side; it's from the consumer side too. Since the pandemic, I don't know what's in the water or what's in the food, but it's just a lot of stuff going on that accidents have risen. Obviously, we know a lot of stolen cars. You had the boom of the Kia and the Hyundai boom. You had a lot of stolen Hellcats out here. There's a lot more accidents due to people not stopping at red lights and stop signs anymore. In cities like Chicago and Philadelphia and New York, you have migrant crises, things like that going on, and just a lack of police. These cities are short on police, so resources are being pulled from different areas of policing to deal with like migrants and just more serious crimes. So people are making U-turns now, right in front of the police. Police ain't doing nothing. People running red lights. Police ain't doing car chases no more. All that stuff. So all this is resulting into more accidents. I talked with someone in the Discord last week. He's in the trucking industry. He just got a quote for insurance for $5,000. This year alone, he's had 2 speeding tickets and an accident. So a lot of people on the consumer side and on the commercial side are just doing what's not in their best interest. And this is affecting the insurance industry on a whole, not to mention what's going on down in Florida, not to mention what's going on out in California from the housing side. You got insurance companies pulling out of those 2 states, insurance companies pulling out of Florida. Hurricanes are hitting them. Wildfires are hitting people. The insurance industry is just taking a hit, right? So these prices have to get passed along. Now, from the trucking side, the reason why it's hitting small and mid-sized fleet owners is because these are the fleet owners that ultimately have to pay for insurance. Your big mega carriers are self-insured. Your big mega carriers are self-insured. So this is why it's affecting small to mid-sized fleet. It's not affecting the mega carriers because they're self-insured. Hit the like button. That's the killer for the trucking companies, explained Costello. Their cost inflation is still going up significantly. Despite the rising costs, cash reserves from the freight surge during the pandemic have largely allowed smaller carriers to survive the tough market. Though over 25,000 trucking firms have already exited, according to Vice. Now, this is where every time I hear them say this, because now FreightWaves is running with this after they've miscalled this turnaround for over about a year and a half now. They're saying, people still have money left over from the pandemic as far as trucking companies are concerned. And I disagree with that, right? We've seen mid-sized trucking companies bow out all throughout this year, right? So to me, it's hard to believe that small trucking companies are still holding on to money from the pandemic. All right. Obviously, there is still an overabundance of small companies. How they're doing it, I don't know. All right. I can't say that. But I'm pretty sure, right, that a lot of these smaller carriers, and when I say smaller carriers, I'm talking about the one owner operator, because about 85% of this industry is about owner operators with one truck, right? Less than a fleet, I would consider. All right, a fleet is 3, so let's say less than a fleet. All right, by 85%, right? So it's hard to believe that someone with one truck, for instance, is still holding on to PPP money 2 years later. I just don't believe that. All right, I don't believe that because the mass majority of the single owner operators weren't getting millions of dollars in PPP. They weren't getting hundreds of thousands. They were the guys that were getting the $20,000 holler. Even if they gave $50,000, even if they got $60,000, let's say they got $100,000. Over the past 2 years, that money would have been exhausted by now. So I'm not sold on that. I think this is just another attempt to save face, all right, from the trucking media, because they're trying to figure this thing out, and I don't think that's it. The smaller player, those with fewer than 5 trucks, make up more than 85%, okay, of the market. Like I said, less than the fleet, right? The growth of small carriers has largely been driven by increased access to commercial driving licenses and technology that has allowed for the Uberization of freight loads. The Uberization of freight loads. This is the AI technology, uh, you know, truckers being able to go on to, AI generated or AI, load boards, right, and pull freight without having to deal with a human broker, right? All right. Rather than relying on brokers and existing relationships with cargo owners, drivers can utilize digital platforms to see where available loads are and independently take on freight. As a result, the number of carriers in the market has remained at a high level, spreading out freight volumes over a large range of companies and increasing price competition. Same thing we've been talking about. Same thing I've been talking about. Same talking points from this article that came out yesterday, the same talking points that I've been telling people over the course of I don't know how many years now. And people say, oh, they don't got nothing to do with what's going on. And it absolutely, positively, 100% has everything to do with what's going on. It positively has everything to do with what's going on. This is why I focus on operation costs. This is why I drive down competition down people's throats to the point where they just don't even want to watch it no more. So here is the mainstream trucking media. Well, this isn't even a trucking media. This is a financial institute that's telling you the same thing verbatim that I've been telling you since this thing started. Let's continue. Carriers are now playing a game of chicken. Maybe since you don't want to listen to me, maybe you'll listen to these guys that are telling you the same thing that I'm telling you. Vice pointed out, whereby larger players are avoiding their own capacity drawdowns by waiting for smaller firms to exit the market. Goes back to what I talk about leverage. Big bank take little bank. The big guy stepping on the small guy. Goes back to what I talked about a few weeks ago. We got the money. We can withstand the storm. Can you? This is why you got to do what's in your best interest, especially if you're small. So when people say all this, and I'm going to keep reiterating this, back to this. When people say things that are ignorant, like, oh, well, what's going on? He over there talking all this economic stuff. They ain't got nothing to do with what's going on now right now. That's the most ignorant thing, and this is why you suffering. This is why you suffering. Right? Supply and demand, competition, understanding your cost. Studying this industry from people that have come before you, done it, and been successful, that understand the industry. This is business. This ain't as simple as just getting the truck, getting your authority, putting the key in, and driving from one dock to another. This is chess out here. It's business. Listen, there's a reason why economics exist. There's a reason why math exists. These things aren't just here just because. So if you are the individual that's just going to get in your truck and think you're just going to turn the key and go dock to dock and everything going to fall into place, you a fool. And this is where you get mad. And when I talk about educating yourself, I'm not saying go to school and just get a degree. I'm saying if you're going to invest into something, it's imperative that you understand what you're investing in by teaching and educating yourself on what you putting your money and investing in. It's not as simple as you think, and it's going to continue to get harder. This is why I can get up here months on months, day on day, confident, challenge people, respond to ignorant things, and continuously be right. I 100% understand this industry. From a hands-on perspective and from a business perspective. If you're not going to do what's in your best interest, and I'm going to continue to use those words because I'm trying to drive it into your head, there's someone else out there that is, and this is the game of chicken. All right, these are the individuals that are competing, keyword, on a higher level. Since you like to call it the game, the box truck game, all right, we'll skip it. Let's call it the box truck game. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? It's the person that understands what they're investing in. It's the person that does these deep dive analysis on the competition, on the economy. They know what lies ahead. I love when people say dumb things like, oh man, all that stuff he over there talking about market analysis. This is why the people that listen come up and give me my flowers, because they win. Because they beating you, because the only thing you doing is getting in your truck, turning on the key, looking on the load board, driving, don't understand what it costs for you to operate, don't understand your cost per mile, and then you trying to figure out where the money at. You really want to hit the link on the call-in show, but you embarrassed to come up here. You really want this. You really want to sit up here and kick it with me. I know you do, but you scared. I know you is. You a fool. Let's continue. Where did I leave off? Okay. Whereby larger players are avoiding their own capacity and drawdowns by waiting for smaller firms to exit the market, bearing cost increases and slowing the reduction of industry oversupply. And what do we always talk about? We need you gone. We trying to get you up out the way. So why I talk about the big dog. Man, we got to get you up out the way. Yeah. It's a big dog play. It's a big homie play. A lot of these operations have been very, very hesitant about cutting back because they're anticipating a recovery. Said, I think most people, though, had anticipated a recovery by now. Remember, Freight Waves was saying a recovery was going to happen second and third quarter of last year, and I said it wasn't. And then they said it was going to be 2024, and I said, no, it's not. Why? What do I always say? I pay attention to consumer buying behavior. I follow the money. Listen, if you follow the money, you ain't gonna never go wrong. See, I don't care I'm following the money, man. I'm following the money. Where's the money being spent? This is why I can't listen. But as supply reduces and demand accelerates, forecasters predict that the rate improvements are just on the horizon. Exits are happening, says Mulvey, from a shipper perspective, if you're looking for cost savings that time has largely passed. All right, so they're saying 2025, right? Demand is picking up, right? So freight is slowly picking up. Why do you think freight is picking up? Can somebody give me an answer? I have an idea. Can somebody in the chat tell me why they think freight is picking up? Is it due to consumers' behavior? Consumers starting to spend more money on goods? Because according to reports, we're in a credit deficit. People are losing their cars. Credit deficit all-time high. People are broke. All right, the unemployment rate is starting to go up. This is indicative of a recession, right? Because there's cycles that you go through that indicate it. So is freight increasing slowly because consumers just came up with some money? Caduce is on to something. Caduce is on to something. Caduce is on to something. He's on to something. Caduce is on to something. Now, some of you guys out there are happy, right? Because, see, I don't listen to these guys. I was the one saying Freight Waves was wrong last year. And they proved wrong and I proved right. No, it's not pay-by-4. I'm asking, is it consumers? Is the behavior changing due to consumers buying more goods. See, this is going to let me know Caduceus on to something, who's really paying attention out here in the world. See, this is what I'm talking about. People go out here, they paying attention to all the things on Instagram and Facebook and all the shit that don't matter. I have an idea why demand is slowly increasing. If people are broke, and this is the brokest people have been in a long time, according to the credit deficit and everything else, right? Prices are steady rising. I go to the grocery store. I purposely pay attention what the prices are. I don't see them retracing. I see them going up. All right, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you out. See, this is where we see where people not paying attention. And this is why this matters. They talk, oh, none of that shit matters. And this is why you sitting in your truck. Because one, you don't know your operation costs, right? Your cost per mile. But two, you're not following the money, right? You're not following the money. You focusing on all the wrong things. The election of Trump is giving people hope. Has nothing to do with the election. Has nothing to do with the election. See, y'all ain't been paying attention. But I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you out. Tariffs. Tariffs. The tariff rate on certain steel and aluminum products under Section 301 will increase from 0 to 7.5% to 25% in 2024. Semiconductors. The tariff rate on semiconductors will increase from 25% to 50% by 2025. Electric vehicles. The tariff rate on electric vehicles under Section 301 will increase from 25% to 100% in 2024. Batteries, battery components, parts, critical materials. The tariff on lithium EV batteries will increase from 7.5% to 25% in 2024, while the tariff rate on lithium EV batteries will increase from 7.5% to 25% in 2026. The tariff rate on battery parts will increase from 7.5% to 25% in 2024. Solar cells, we can just go on. We can go all the way down to essentials. Medical products, the tariff rates on syringes and needles will increase from 0% to 50% in 2024. Do y'all follow me? Do y'all see where I'm going with this? But see, y'all ain't paying attention. But this stuff don't matter. And this is why you in the position that you in. And this is why I come and do this. And this is why I challenge people and I put the bag up, because I do the research to understand what I'm presenting to you. I understand what I'm investing in. I'm ahead of the game. I know how to play the game. You're not going, listen, you'll never catch me caught left holding the bag. See, I'm not finna be one of those guys left caught holding the bag. I understand economics. I understand business. And this is what I'm trying to teach y'all. So let's look at medical supplies. This is an essential thing. Something that can get moved right on a truck. 0% to 50% in 2024. What is a tariff? It's a tax on imports. Now, what's the resource? This is the official White House website. This is from the White House. The White House is telling you this. Oh, but it gets better. It gets better. This is the official White House website. So I'm not making this up. This isn't some journalist website. This is not coming from Freightways or the Financial Times. This is from the official White House website. All right. So where are we at? We are okay, 0 to 50% in 2024 for certain PPE, including certain respirators and face masks. The tariff rates will increase from 0 to 7.5% to 25% in 2024. Tariff on rubber, medical, and surgical gloves will increase from 7.5% to 25% in 2026. Tariffs are going to continue to go up. All right, tariffs are going up, right? Right, because the government is taxing these imports, right? for profit, for gain. All right. So this is companies getting ahead of these tariffs that are placing these larger orders, right? They're placing bigger orders so they can get ahead of the tariffs, right? Eventually their supply is going to run through, but if we can purchase as much stuff as possible now to get ahead of some of these tariffs, the better, right? Because there's going to be guys that or companies that drop the ball and don't get ahead of this, and guess what? We're still on the White House website. Pay attention. It's highlighted for you. Finally, relying on a tariff as a major source of tax revenue raises serious equity concerns. As noted, across the board, tariffs would cause substantial pressure on consumer prices. This is the White House website. They're telling you this. They're telling you they're raising the tariffs. You saw some tariffs go from 0% to 100% or whatever it was. As noted, across the board, tariffs would cause substantial pressure on consumer prices, either because consumers directly purchase imported goods or because businesses that rely on imported goods as inputs to their production increase prices. The price always gets passed down to the consumer. The business is in business to make money. They're not going to take the hit on that. If they're hit with a tariff, whether it be 10%, 20%, 25%, that means the price at the registers are going to increase. Here it is for you in black and white. This is the White House telling you this. The White House is telling you it's going to hit you, consumer. Let's continue. Because lower income households spend a large share of their income on consumption of these goods, they will be disproportionately burdened by a broad tariff. Disproportionately burdened. This is the White House. We're going to see who's going to use their common sense. Hit the like button. It's right here for you. It's on their website. So where do you think we're going? See, I know where it's going. See, I follow the money, man. I keep telling y'all this. Keep listening to all this goofball stuff that y'all like to listen to. Y'all like to go on these Facebook forums and shit, and people say dumb shit like taking cheap freight. And this is why I make fun of these guys. This is why I troll these guys. Because they say a bunch of shit that don't got shit to do with shit. They just following something that somebody, like the guy from the other night. XRP to the moon. You see how the good Lord be looking out for the kid. The case was over with last July. XRP was just waiting on a fine from the SEC. The very next day, the SEC hit XRP with the fine. They hit Ripple with the fine. Look at the price of XRP. This guy up here drunk, drinking a Russian whatever. What did I say? The price is purposely being suppressed. So after the whole buy the rumor, sell the news, after people been waiting on this shit for 4 years to finally be done because they're expecting this shit to go from pennies to $500 a share, somebody go look at the price. Somebody go look at the price. It's not even at $1. It's at 50 something cents. Hasn't even moved. And so I guess I was right again. You see how that worked? The very next day, they got hit with the fine. After I said, bro, you waiting on XRP to go to the moon, you a fool. The very next day, the day that everybody had been waiting for. Can somebody tell me what the price of XRP is today? Haters love to hate. There's one in here now. What have I said wrong? Somebody just came in and hit the dislike button. This is somebody who's probably piss poor, sitting in a box truck, hot as hell, mad as hell because they struggling and they think people taking cheap freight instead of sitting here doing what I'm doing, or they probably can't read, they probably can't do arithmetic. This is why they sitting up here mad at me for bringing you the information, explaining to you the information so that you can go out and do in your best interest, but they get mad because they don't know how to read or write. Sit your ass out there, continue to run your lows. I'm gonna be right here still. I'm gonna be right here. See, I did it already on a high level. Go look. It's in the content. While you sitting out there trying to figure, and this ain't me. This is me. This is just me. While you sitting out there mad, because you riding around in a goddamn truck that you paid 2 to 3 times the amount that it was worth, I'm gonna be right here. I've been right here for 2 years. Living. I ain't went nowhere. Still here. So continue to sit out there and hate in your truck instead of taking this information, taking this news that you can use and applying it. Because you watching. You just don't like me. And I need you because that's engagement. Keep watching me. Keep watching me because that's making my watch time go up. When you hit the dislike button, it's still engagement. It makes me know, never mind. Because you're out there. I'm here. The AC is blowing. I'm chilling. Making money. There go another one. Oh, he just liked it and disliked it. I'm fucking with him now. Yeah, I know it's rough for you, big dog. I know it's rough. All right, but let's get back to it. I'm off my hater right now. So follow the money. Follow the money. Let me give you a little bit of insight. And I normally don't kick it to y'all like this on the public channel. I usually say this for the members only and, the Discord. When I say follow the money, I really mean follow the money in all aspects. Economy is messed up. Okay, XRP to the moon, 58 cents. The very next day when Buddy said that, and I said, it's not going to go anywhere. How is it that I'm always right? Because I understand what I'm investing in. I understand all aspects. Crypto, real estate, stocks. Warren Buffett, probably one of the best investors ever. Someone that you probably want to model or pay attention to if you're getting into this investment thing from a paper asset. He's selling off a lot of shit. He's stockpiling cash. Now, here's a guy. I'm giving you a gem now. See, this is why on this channel, people win. Oh, I'm talking my shit now. Yeah, because every time we have a win, I have to come back and relay it to you so that you don't forget it. This is the cocky shit right here. But I pay the cost to be the boss. All right. I pay the cost to be the boss. God damn it. Ain't nobody else came up to take the challenge. So whatever. So now we just going to go. We're going to continue this tour that we've been on for the past 2.5 years. Or going on 2.5 years. Now check this out. Warren Buffett. This is a guy that if you are investing, you probably want to study. He's stockpiling cash. He just sold billions and billions of dollars of Apple. Biggest market cap. Why? Why is Warren Buffett stockpiling cash? Now he's in a position different from you and I, right? He's in rooms that you and I aren't in. He knows people that you and I don't know. He hears whispers that you and I don't hear. Here's a guy who's been doing this for decades successfully. He knows something. He's building up a cash war chest. Now, me being intelligent, being smart, why is a guy divesting from assets and sitting on cash? A guy who's made billions and billions and billions of dollars on investing is divesting and sitting on cash. It could only be one reason. So if I look at a guy like Warren Buffett, then I read this, and then I understand economics, I understand inflation, I understand what comes after inflation, I understand recession, the components of a recession. Here's a guy like Warren Buffett who's old as dirt, who's been through market corrections, economic collapses, who can analyze this thing probably better than you or I could on any given day. He sees something. Something's on the horizon. So the only reason I think he could be stockpiling cash is there's going to be some type of collapse. And what do I always tell people? It's the people that have what? Cash on hand are the people who end up winning. Because when things collapse, they have cash on hand to buy things at the lowest and then ride it up to the top, wash, rinse, and repeat. Keep going out doing what's not in your best interest. Keep listening to dumb shit on Facebook groups and on Instagram and from other individuals that's out here failing and from creators and influencers who ain't tenured and ain't experienced, who don't understand business or economics, that say things that's crazy that don't even make sense. You in the trucking industry and you find your loads on a load board, which is a market, and you telling me this shit don't matter. Economics don't matter. Supply and demand don't matter. Competition don't matter. Cost don't matter. You's a fool. And this is why, listen, there you have it. Now, if you don't see the way, the direction things going, then I'm not doing peak season analysis this year. I made it up in my mind. I'm going to let somebody else do it because I already know what's going to happen. And I'm not saying it's going to be bad. It could actually be good. I know what peak season is going to look like, but I want to see another influencer, another content creator forecast it. I just gave you an overall forecast. Without pinpointing the direction, I want you to use your own common sense based on what was presented today for you to determine where things are going to go. All right? I want you to utilize your own common sense. I want you to do, a further analysis on where things are going to go. Common sense is common. So I'm not going to do a peak season analysis this year. I may do one in the members only for the members, but I'm not going to do it on a public level. No, I'm straight. Y'all can figure it out on your own. I've told you how to, forecast it. There's going to be some other components that you have to equate into it this year because economically we're not where we were last year, nor where we were the year prior. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to be good. It could actually be good. It could actually be bad. It could actually be between. I know what it's going to be, but I just want you guys to, do it on your own. Here's a summary of what's, I think is to come. Remember, there is a lag. There is a lag when it comes to trucking. And I ultimately think that the buying pressure from an industry standpoint, and Caduce was on the right track, is not coming from consumers. It's coming from industry companies, large companies that are just ordering an abundance to kind of jump ahead of some of these tariffs that are coming up this year and next year. Might as well get as much as we can for a lower price to kind of keep costs the same before we ultimately have to raise prices eventually due to these tariffs. And like I said before, the government is telling you that it's ultimately going to affect you. It's telling you right here. It's telling you right here. It's going to affect you. It's going to burden you. And it's going to affect you directly. And this is the White House telling you this. All right. So there you have it. All right. I'll take one or two questions and then I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day. I don't know. I may jump into Discord, but if I do, it's going to be short. I'm not going to be in there that long today. MD says recession, no peak. We'll see. We'll see. Hassan says keep a bag waiting on others to fail. It's always the plan. Economic collapse and cash on hand. It's always the plan. Daryl says they came here to get knowledge and game, but hating on the teacher, dumb as hell. Let them keep hating. It's engagement. Listen, without haters, you're not winning. I know why they hate. It's just like the Floyd Mayweather effect. Damn, this dude he can't be wrong. People just want to see you be wrong. And I get it. It just lets me know that I'm winning. We're going to continue to win. We're going to continue to win because we're going to always do what's in our best interest. We're not going to follow trends. We're going to make sure we always do our research, right? We're going to continue to educate ourselves on things that we invest in. We're going to always follow the money. Here we go. They in here now. Shout out to all the haters. We appreciate you. What else? These are guys that are in their truck suffering. They're suffering. They suffering. All right. These are guys. Hold on. Let's do something. Hold on. Wait a second. Listen. You know, I like to, every now and again, it's Friday. Let's have a little fun. There go the link. One of those two guys that hit the dislike button, hit the link. Come up and tell me what you dislike. Tell me where I'm wrong at. There go the link. There go the link. See, the difference over here, we don't run, we don't hide. We drop the link. We don't turn comments off and all this, that, and the third. We'll drop the link and we'll allow you to come up here and express your grievance. Bring your ass up here and be tough. You's a bad motherfucker. Bring your ass, hit the link and come on up here and express your grievance. Tell me where I'm wrong at. There go another one. We got 3 now. We up to 3. Can we go for 4? I'm using them. It's engagement. This is help pushing the stream out. They better off not doing nothing. See, that's the thing. This is how people are. That means absolutely nothing. It's engagement. They're better off just not doing nothing. There go the link. There go another one. There go 4. Can we go for 5? Let's go for 5. But there go the link too. Make sure when you hitting that thumbs down, you hit that link too. So we can see what your grievance is. So you can tell us what you know that we don't know, that the White House is not telling us right here. There go the link. I bet you they won't hit it. I bet you they won't. See, this is that tough internet shit. This is people that they say talk offline, but they won't pull up. Pull up. It's a friendly debate. It's an educational debate. All it is just going to be mental exercise for me. I need the mental exercise. Link is pinned to the, should we just pin it to the, maybe let's make it easy for them. You know, they probably ain't got no health insurance, so they probably ain't got no glasses. They probably can't afford their glasses. There you go. Let's make it easier for you. Pin to the top of the chin app. See, we don't run. We don't turn comments off. We don't not drop the link. We drop the link. We don't turn comments off. We invite the challenge. We invite it. So if you have a difference of opinion or a grievance, we up to 5 now. Hit the link. It's all engagement for me. I learned this from Anton. This is a trick I learned from Anton. They don't understand it. They better off just not doing nothing. So me engaging with them is helping the overall engagement. I'm doing this right now. See how the room keep going up? This is a trick. They better off not doing nothing. So the link is pinned to the top of the chat. If you have a disagreement or a grievance or you want some smoke, pin the link. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. I got some time. I ain't got nothing to do. You know, I set my own schedule. I know it's tough for you. I know it's tough for you. I know it's tough. I get it. I feel you. It's people. Listen, the room is waiting. We at a stalemate. Ain't nobody left. We want you to come up here and express your grievance. I presented something to you. It correlates with everything that I've been talking about since I've been on YouTube. So the people that say, oh, he's over there talking, don't none of that shit. Well, here are smart people who are journalists, and this is a financial institution that correlates with everything that I've said. The Financial Times is telling you that everything I've been telling you, the article came out yesterday. Every single thing that I've been telling you, they're telling you verbatim. I know I keep bringing up, case studies of things that correlate with that just to prove to you right here. Yesterday. Came out yesterday. All right. We up to 4. Somebody changed their thing or whatever. All right. So we got that. Then we took it one step further. We went to the White House. We up to 5 again. We went to the White House, and I let you see that the White House is telling you this. The White House is telling you you're gonna be fucked up out here in these streets. Don't get mad at the messenger because I'm explaining this shit to you and it's all panning out. XRP to the moon. Cuddy. Bro. Don't get mad at me. Because you waiting on a repeat of 2021, November, December, and January 2022. Keep waiting. You're going to be waiting just like Buddy the other day, XRP to the moon. The very next day, the SEC gave them they fine, and that shit is Listen. Don't get mad at me, man. Don't get mad at me, man. We're going to give you another minute, man. It's 4 of y'all, so we're going to give y'all another minute. Don't all y'all hit the link at one time now. Keep having those conversations offline. Hold on. Damn. Oh, we back up to 5. Still waiting. All right, they're not going to pull up, man. All right, let me read these comments and then I'm out of here, man. Ain't nobody letting it be known like you, Mark G. Appreciate you for watching. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Darrell said, bro, you know they ass ain't finna pop up. I already know they not. But you know, we gotta have a little fun. It's Friday, man. We gotta have a little fun with them. We know they not gonna pull up. We know who they are too. Don't think we don't. Listen, we already proved to y'all that we got the shit back. I can't show you because then y'all gonna call them people on me. The one guy, we pulled him up on camera. He shitted on himself. We flipped his camera around on him and he damn near shitted on himself. All right. So you know I know who you is. Now I could put you on Front Street. You know I will do it. But y'all might call them people and like, man, this dude got some technology back there that can, yeah. So we gonna just let you be, bro. We don't need you telling on us. All right. Hassan said they punch in the air right now. Definitely. Do you think once AI can drive fully autonomous trucks will drastically change the landscape for better or for worse forever? I don't think we're never going to get to a point where, you know, fully autonomous in trucking is going to be a thing because you can't operate something fully autonomous in every single market. You can't operate a fully autonomous vehicle in a market like Chicago where there's snow and different weather elements that can ultimately affect, you know, the things that, you know, keep a autonomous vehicle going, right? You have ice and snow that can block some of the sensors. So for instance, if some ice or snow in the Chicago winter with snow and ice and things blocking the sensor, the vehicle's not going to be able to see or detect what's next to it, what's in front of, behind it. So no, you know, I don't think we're going to get to that point. In markets like your Arizonas, your Californias, Texas, where they are testing these things out at, that could potentially affect those markets. But markets up north, we'll never see a fully autonomous vehicle because the weather won't allow it. It'd be too dangerous. So no, there's always going to be a need for owner operators. Jeep said, yo, a lot of young men need your help. I'm trying to help as many people as possible. This is why I come on. But, you know, you gonna always have detractors. And I don't let the detractors get in the way. We just challenge the detractors. All right. We challenge the detractors. We challenge the people who have grievances. And we give them the platform. I allow them to come up on my platform to express their grievance. Or if they have something that, you know, I'm saying wrong or they disagree, you know, then, you know, there was once upon a time people used to be vocal about disagreeing with me. But I don't know. I just kept always being right. So he stopped. Keep a bad waiting on others to fail. Hey, capitalism at its finest. Let's see what else we got. What up, Mark? That XRP sitting at 58 cents. Keep speaking facts, bro. Hey, appreciate you. Appreciate you for watching. Shout out to Transportation Boys. Slick, what's going on? Shout out to Superman Clark Kent. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Shout out to everybody I see putting that 58 cents. Roger Lacey, info, big dog. Hit the like button. Hit that like button. The content over here different. Y'all better wake up. So basically they get more money from other countries. No, the government is placing tariffs for revenue purposes. Tariffs was just for revenue purposes, right? But here's the thing. These tariffs are going to ultimately, these increases because of these tariffs are ultimately going to get passed down to consumer. The consumer pays for everything. The consumer pays for everything. Throughout the supply chain process, all the costs associated throughout the supply chain's process ultimately gets passed down to the consumer with a profit margin placed on top of that. It is what it is. So I think that the reason why you see the freight coming up, I don't think it's due to consumer demand, right? Because when you look at it, consumers are broke. Like everything is pointing to consumers are broke. Everything. So why is the demand increasing? I think it's institution. I think it's large companies just getting ahead of the tariffs. just getting ahead of the tariffs. We haven't had any rate cuts. So where's the money coming from? Where's the money coming from? They haven't printed it. I mean, there's no stimulus or anything going on. Not that I know of. I'm looking at something that a lot of people said the moment this particular asset is done in with the SEC, as far as the SEC making its ruling, it's supposed to skyrocket. People have been waiting on this thing to skyrocket for almost 8-9 years now, and it's finally done the other day, a day after this guy is waiting. And I said, bro, it's suppressed. It's not going to happen. The very next day, I don't know if God was watching that, ended the case the very next day. Nothing. Now, in any other times, I've seen situations with far less buy the rumor, sell the news sentiment or whatever that have skyrocketed. Here is something that people have been waiting on for years. Years. Nothing. Why? Retail doesn't have the money to invest. The liquidity that's being changed hands right now in that market is all smart money. It's not dumb money. Dumb money doesn't have the money to invest. If they had the money to invest earlier this year, when that particular market was at its peak, I would call it some type of mini parabolic where you saw trends that weren't cyclical to what the cycle normally, how it normally operates, and you had influence that normally would drive retail into said market, even with, all right, this is something I would you talk about on members only, but skip it. Let's kick it. Earlier this year, late last year, December, January, February, March, going to the beginning of April, the crypto market was just booming. Like shit was running. All right. Normally, when things start to get parabolic, you start to see influence, right? Influence from people outside of that market, not influencers within that market, outside influence. All right. Andrew Tate, the most Googled man. And this is where I say you have to follow the money. Andrew Tate, the most Googled man at that time, he probably still is, all right? The most Googled woman, I think, at that time, it probably still is Michelle Obama. But the most Googled man, Andrew Tate, created a crypto. The most Googled man. You had Iggy Azalea, a bunch of people that weren't in crypto were creating cryptos. This is the influence. This is the similar influence you saw the last bull cycle, last cycle prior to that. And normally when you start seeing people outside of the market bringing influence, it's a signal that the market is coming to a top. I'm saying that to say this, even with Andrew Tate influencing crypto at that moment, it wasn't enough to drive retail into the market. That was an indicator that retail doesn't have the money. All right. If I'm retail and I go work and I pay my bills and I got a smidge of the money left over, am I going to put it in something that's just going to sit, that there's uncertainty? I could make money, I could lose money, or I'm going to take this little money and I'm just going to go out this weekend, have a nice dinner, or go to a bar, go to a club. They're going to go to a bar, go to a club. They're going to have a good time, drink to get their mind off the fact that they're broke or the fact that they're struggling. They're not going to put it into something for it to sit. So me being smart, me being intelligent, I pay attention to things like this. I've been through these cycles before. This is an indicator that retail, which is dumb money, doesn't have the money to invest. Even when the biggest male influencer in the world is not enough to bring retail into that market. Warren Buffett selling billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars of shares and stockpiling cash is an indicator follow the money. Stop following hope and dreams and dumb shit. There go another hater. Every time I say follow the money, stop following dumb shit, it's always a dumb motherfucker who's following dumb shit on Instagram that gets upset. Don't get mad at me because you dumb as hell. Don't get mad at me because you went on and you did something that's not in your best interest. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. If you have a grievance or you feel something else, hit the link, because instead of you taking this information and getting ahead and doing what's in your best interest, getting out there making an overabundance of money and putting cash to the side so when things do go down, you have cash on hand to invest on sale and ride it to the top so that your goofy ass can make generational wealth. See, you taking this information wrong. The smart individual is looking at this as an opportunity. Continue to do what's in your best interest. It's going to be me that's going to be buying your assets on the low. I want you to continue to do that shit. Keep being dumb. Keep going out here doing all this dumb shit. Listen to this goofball ass shit. But you won't hit the link. Tell me where I'm wrong at. Because the White House just told you the shit. I've been telling you this shit. But now here's proof. Industry ain't for the weak, but especially not for the uneducated. And it's changing every quarter. There you have it. So the detractors ain't going to hit the link. We allowed you to come up and bring your smoke. You scared as hell. You're not going to do it because you probably can't articulate yourself correctly. You just brought more engagement to the channel. There's more people in here waiting for you to come up, so I appreciate you. I'm going to always beat you at your game, hater. Always. This is chess, not checkers. This is chess, not checkers. All right, so I guess I will jump into, the Discord. Hopefully, people take this information, they do what's in their best interest. I showed you how to follow the money. I gave you some tidbits that I would normally keep for the members only or keep for the Discord. You can take this information, you could do what you want with it. I know what I'm going to do with it. I know what I've been doing with it, and I'm going to continue to give you guys the content that you need so that you can educate yourself, so that you can, just not live in the moment, but you can forecast in the future so you don't get caught left holding the bag. Whoever that is, it's not doing anything. I've already blocked you, so it's not really doing anything, but I appreciate you. Keep suffering, keep struggling, and keep doing what's not in your best interest. Hey, for everybody else, do what's in your best interest. Make as much money as you can. Stockpile on cash because it's probably going to come. It seems like it's inevitable based on what we see. And people that don't go out and do what's in their best interest, those are going to be the people that are going to lose their assets, and it's going to present you with an opportunity to buy these things for pennies on the dollar. And once things bottom out, there's only one place where to go. It's to go up, and then this is how you make a profit. This is how the rich get rich. This is how the rich get rich, and this is how the rich stay rich. All right, stop having a mindset of a brokey. Educate yourself so that you can continue to beat people who ain't, and this is why they run around telling people dumb shit like stop taking cheap freight. I'm out.